Good morning, good morning. The time is currently 7:23. That's painful. I'm not a morning guy, but I'll tell you what, the one thing that I'll give to the mornings is this right here, the sunrise. Not to mention this. Now you're probably wondering, Drew, why are you up so early? Well, today I'm on breakfast duty, which means I have to set up all the breakfast, but that's okay. The people gotta eat. Am I the only one that likes creamy peanut butter? Would you look at that? See, one thing you gotta know, when Drew makes breakfast, it's made with love. It's gonna taste so good, you're gonna think it came from up above. Final step here, just crack the window a little bit. Let the morning breeze come right through as you're eating some breakfast. Good morning, Patrick.
Hi, guys.
All right, Patrick, I'm gonna go do some laundry and then go back to bed for a little bit. All right, so if you couldn't tell by now, I'm a volunteer at a hostel, which basically means I work 25 hours a week doing check-ins, laundry, setting up breakfast, cleaning bathrooms, essentially whatever I can do to help out around the hostel. And in exchange for this work, I get a bed to sleep in every night, but not just any regular bed. I get a bed right here in the sunny and expensive Southern California. Oh, and just in case you're wondering, it 1000% lives up to the hype.
I get it wide, I get the party lit outside.
Get in here. Oh, hey, didn't see you there. You're probably wondering, Drew, how did you get in such an awesome situation? Well, let me take you back just a little bit. So about like 2 months ago, I was researching hostels in LA. I knew I wanted to move here really bad. I was in college, I was super depressed. I didn't know what I was doing there, and that's a very expensive place to be with no real direction. So I was like, you know what? Let me take a step back. I really want to move to LA and just see what happens out here. And so I researched 20 different hostels in the LA area and I emailed all of them. So out of all 20 of those hostels, 3 replied, and then this one right here was the only one to give me an interview and ultimately get me to this place right here. You can find this app called World Packers. Everyone uses it here. Basically, you can filter hostels by work exchange programs and you can apply on that app. And we just recently got a couple little friends to join us.
Hey, guys.
This is Patrick, he's from France. Living quarters are a little tight. I currently do have 2 other roommates besides Patrick. Martin from Argentina lives here. Martin, say what's good to the video.
Hey, man, how are you?
My buddy AK from Australia lives right here. Say what's up, AK.
What's up?
And then we got the Texas boy down here. As you can tell, I still really haven't learned how to make my bed. And to have a beachfront view like this, come on, we're spoiled. Say hello, Joe. Hey. Food can get pretty expensive here. Luckily, the hostel provides breakfast, so the only real expense I have to worry about is lunch and dinner. Usually I can keep it around $50 a week, make some vegan pasta, a little bit of bread, and just eat that for the entire time I'm here. Upstairs, we do have another little set of community bathrooms. We got the toilet and a nice little view to take a shit to. The kitchen, of course, that we were just in, and then the community room. Paulina. Now, one thing I love about this hostel, which is cool, it's my very first hostel experience, is it's this little hole in the wall. You just walk outside and you're right in the mix. And the cool thing about this is the beach is literally right here. I love Southern California, I really do. I'm super lucky, I'm super grateful to do this. I'm also super grateful that on top of that, I have a freaking car here as well. But the one thing that I gotta complain about is the parking. First night I pulled up here, I got a parking ticket, and so I knew off the bat, California, universe, whatever it was, she ain't playing. And so I finally found a spot that I can park all week except for 10 to 2 on Wednesdays, so I gotta move it then. Still kind of a pain in the ass, but look, these are the prices you pay for being somewhere so beautiful and where the people are so nice. And yeah, I love it, so. Although we've come to the end of the road. All right, so I've shown you around the hostel a little bit, told you what I did and how I got here. Now let's wrap it up with some final thoughts. So with this being my first hostel experience, it opened an entire new world for me. One of the things that I was lacking heavily back at home was a sense of community. I mean, yeah, I had some friends and family, but there was still some distance there, and I don't even really know how to describe it. It was just a feeling. So when I come down, my first night in the hostel, besides the parking ticket, it was amazing. I went in, threw all my stuff in, and out of the gates, I just started talking to all the other volunteers here. Most of them were international, so they had really cool stories to how they got here. And I just felt this uplifted sense of community and belonging. And honestly, as I talk about it, that's my #1 favorite thing thing about living in this hostel is we're family here. We really are. And it's sad because those who aren't volunteers, we get pretty attached to. We get to hang out a lot and then they go on their way. Like for example, even my buddy Ito from Israel, in my last video, we lived in a van for 2 days. We knew each other for like a day. We caught a vibe and then we decided to road trip and it was the best thing ever. Now, a majority of people that come through the hostel, including volunteers, are mainly here just to visit, enjoy California and get on their way. Now, my situation is a little bit different. I want to stay down here. I drove my car from Texas 21 hours to get down here because I was unhappy with my situation. Honestly, my idea of California before I came doesn't even come close to what it actually is, in a good way. So whether you want to volunteer at a hostel just to be a little nomad for a little bit and travel around the world basically for no money, or if you want to take a route like me and you really feel like you belong somewhere and that you want to spend some time there for a little bit longer, a hostel is a good way to get started. And then maybe after that you can hop to another hostel or get your feet on the ground and start working like a lot of people have done here, save some money and then stay here. Honestly, after finding out about this is the only way I'm going to travel for a very long time. So yeah, I gotta go do some Postmates deliveries now because money doesn't grow on trees. So all in all, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope it brought you some sort of value in some way. And if it did, please hit a little like, little thumbs up on the video. It helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Follow your inner voice. Everything you do it with loving intentions. And try to live in the right now as much as you possibly can. I'll see you next time. Peace. A little fun fact about this hostel I'm staying at. It is right next to the famous Lighthouse Cafe. If you've seen the movie La La Land, you'll know what I'm talking about.